Howdy folks, Zethios here, and welcome back to Tyranny. When last we left off, we had tried to stop a fight between the Bronze Brotherhood, infighting, but they weren't having it, so one side had to win over the other. And that was it. And we ended up getting what we needed to progress. Quest, we got the keystone, so now we had to head back to Twin Rivers. So, since Sunset Spire is on the way to Twin Rivers, maybe we should head back to Sunset Spire first and turn in some side stuff. Because it just makes sense, like, map-wise. Like, you would head to Lathan's Crossing, and the main road's probably Lathan's Crossing anyway, from here to here. So, it would be weird to bypass it when we had stuff there that we needed to do. So, let's do it. Alright, so... Small group gathered on the water's edge. This is basically another typical encounter that we've had on the road. If it's any different, a spying or approach. Snatch up their baskets, poles, bolting in two groups. You follow the river in opposite directions. Shouts and laughter ride the wind. You can pursue upriver or downriver. What do we think? Do we think that they're toward the shore? Or down the shore? I think these people aren't doing anything, really. They're just people who are fishing. So you should just leave them be. Say our curiosity, return the road. I know that like doesn't end up in anything interesting, but it doesn't make sense. I can't justify chasing after them. Like, if they had stopped and talked with us and introduced themselves, that's one thing. Like, maybe if you're a certain Fatebinder, you can think of, like, well, why are they running? But that's the thing of, like, we don't care. They could just be afraid. That's fine. Alright, so who do we gotta talk to? A couple people. Maybe that other guy's finally around. That dude's brother. What's his name? The name of that brother. Allagan. Alright, is Allagan around? Here he is. Alright, dude. Allagan appears visibly shaken by seeing you in the flesh. Fatebinder, he stammers. How good to see you. Where's Gino? He's out fishing. He didn't want to speak to me. Said he needed time to think. He stretched his arms. You didn't say anything to him, did you? So, yeah, well, you know you've been spreading false rumors about your brother. What's up with that, dude? Allagan's face pales as he takes a small step back. How do you know that they're false? Well, we found the bodies. Killed by disfavored. It was a simple mistake, Allagan protests. How could I know if they were chorus members or not? I had no choice, Fatebinder. Allagan backs away. Please, I have a family to take care of. He turns and starts to run away. Is his brother gonna come and get him? He is. What's going on here? Allagan is working with a disfavored to spear your name. Gino eyes glaze in a bitter rage. Why, Allagan, after all these years, why? His shout echoes throughout the settlement. Allagan shrinks in place, his knees wobbling in an increasingly difficult effort to keep him from toppling over. Father always favored you, always pushed me around. I just wanted a chance to run things for once. Gino's face grows still while his lips remain as the only thing in motion. And you never will. Be gone from here, Allagan. Never show your face again. Allagan's lips tremble in a failed attempt to mutter a reply, but eventually falls victim to the weight of his head as it droops down. He picks a small sack nearby and slowly scampers off. Yeah, it's not the way to do it, man. Thank you for settling that horrid affair with the rumors. Unfortunately, my name means nothing in the crossing. Perhaps you, as Tunon's Fatebinder, can speak to Eldian on my behalf and clear my name. Alright, I can talk to him. Alright, so we'll talk to the old man. Who else do we have to talk to? I think they're all on the other side, aren't they? Yeah? Oh, they finally fix it down here? You can cross. I don't know. Maybe that's always been there and I just took the long way around because I didn't notice it at first. Who knows? I'm prone to do that sort of thing. Biotis, who else are we supposed to talk to? Of course, Dea. And we gotta go inside the place where these guys are, right? They're in here. The Forge Bound, I think. Yeah. Alright, I'll turn these in. You have returned. Laura turns to face you, her body covered head to toe in charred hues, chest rising and falling under the strain of labored breathing. Always more demand for iron than there is the time of day. Cracking unison. I think this is just a typical greeting that you get every time you talk to her. Alright, how may I be of assistance? Found that missing weapons shipment. Slugfist gauntlets. Thank you for finding the missing weapons, Zethios. A sign of relief escapes her. We almost had to leave the forge idle for the day on account of material shortages, and we've no desire to find out what will happen if we don't meet our quota. And losing those weapons on top of it all, and who knows what we'd be subjected to. We have to get everything repaired and back in the right hands. She attempts a good-natured laugh, but it falls flat. Alright.
You learn something every day.
There we go. Look at that. Leveling up. Alright. Character screen. Alright, so just cooldown. Maybe some might. That's what we're working on, yeah. We use some health too. We get killed a lot if we get into combat with anybody who's worth a darn. Alright. What else can we do? Thrown items. We still have the move speed and breaks current engagements. That would be a good idea. Why have I not used that? Why have I not done that? Let's do that. Give us a way out of that stuff. Forge bound. Favor us?
Will do. On it.
I haven't really done anything to piss them off, really. Not recently. Anyway. Maybe some minor stuff here and there. But it's been so long, even I've forgotten. They probably have too. I don't think the Forge Men have long memories about such things. Alright, Dea. Why did you kill your wife? You settled my blood debt. Dea's voice trembles, her body weary from sobbing. You killed your wife. How dare you accuse? Her tear-streaked eyes widen with surprise. That's so absurd, I can't even. She clutches her head in her hands, bawling. That's preposterous, I couldn't. Her face turns from flushed to stoic at the blink of an eye. She folds her arms before you and smiles. Well, mount me sideways. I thought I'd gotten away with it. She looks down at her feet. Can't blame me for trying, though. Sly smile crosses her lips. You know, Fatebinder, with Phaedra gone, I have inherited everything she owned. Perhaps there's something I can offer you, should you decide to leave things be. Make me an offer I can't refuse. Husband's fond of rings. I need to ask her a few questions, like why? Why hail a Fatebinder when you were the one who murdered your own wife? Thought it would have been obvious, but if I was the one who flagged you down, you'd be less likely to suspect I was the one who killed her. Of course. Just like a Law and Order episode. I was hoping you'd take my word for it, kill Sandra for who apparently he didn't have a mind to keep his mouth shut. Why kill her now? I was originally planning on doing it myself at all. Phaedra was supposed to die when Kairos' armies came to Lathan's Crossing. That was the only reason I actually married the little half-wit. Met Phaedra in the Bastard City. Didn't take long to learn that she owned a sizable piece of land. Courted her for a while. Kairos evaded the tears. By that time, I had Phaedra right where I wanted her. She was desperately in love with me and wanted us to be together forever. She wasn't willing to marry me just then, so I stayed with her as we traveled around and eventually settled here. Kairos' forces followed soon after. Her armies quickly occupied Lathan's Crossing and subjugated the town. Phaedra was gravely injured that year. I didn't think she would survive to see the next season, but I convinced her to marry me before it was too late. She agreed, and for a time I thought it would all work out in my favor. She'd be dead and I'd own the town. Obviously she recovered. Thanks to Sandro, he wouldn't leave Phaedra alone. As her friend, he was determined to nurse her back to health, and the fucker succeeded. Over the course of a few weeks, he destroyed my years of planning. They had to change her plans. I thought of many different ways to remove Phaedra from my life. None of them were good enough to absolve me of any potential guilt. When the Bronze Brotherhood attacked, I figured it'd be a good way to disguise my involvement with their death, but Sandra saw me. The little worm ruined everything. I had to deal with Phaedra's body before I could chase him down. By the time I was able to locate him, he had put on some Bronze Brotherhood armor and was following them out of town. I see something else. Why was the necklace so important to you? Not really. I just wanted it as proof that he was dead. I was going to keep it around as a trophy, a reminder in the end that I won. Why'd you kill her? Living with her was insufferable. Always so happy and smiling like nothing bad ever happened to her in her entire life. It drove me crazy. I was happy with her at first, but over time it wore me down. Couldn't take it anymore. I wanted to show her that life can be mean and cruel, so she'd stop smiling all the damn time. The dead do not smile. Sandra told me you had a rather interesting and different version of events. He scoffs at you. You're a persistent one, aren't you? Fine, as you probably now know, Phaedra was the granddaughter of Lathan, which means she essentially owns Lathan's Crossing. Every month, she would collect from the merchants and use the rings to maintain the market areas for their use. She only ever collected enough to cover the needs of the marketplace. She never considered that we could use those rings too. I told her she'd raise her rates. The merchants could afford it, but she refused. Those filthy merchants all live better than I do. So with Phaedra gone, you inherited Crossing in charge. Whatever you like. Other options, other ways to make rings. Yeah, she's buried herself into... We've allowed her to talk and bury herself further and further into... There's no redemption for this woman in this world. So, we've heard enough. It's unfortunate. She slides her hand up to her ear, pulling from her hair a long, slender pin. Brandishing a makeshift weapon, she throws herself at you.
Send them at me in waves!
Yeah, I think you're done for, lady. Talked about a pin. She was just using her fists. Unless we... Look at that. Base necklace. +1 finesse. That's actually pretty good. I'd say it's actually pretty good. I am always a big fan of weapons and, you know, things that you wear that boost your stats attributes in D&D inspired stuff. Oh boy, here we go. Do I have it today? Do I have the old prospector voice today? I don't know. We'll see. Alright, Eldian. Well, may the silence of peace and the jangling of rings both follow you in all things. What can this old fool do for you? I was hoping you can clear Zeno's name. Well, I am the elder here, Fatebinder, but my words only hold so much weight. Without any evidence to the contrary, why should people believe one story over another? Well, you know, seen the bodies myself. How about the word of a Fatebinder? If this is the case, how in the tears did the other story even start? His brother was working with the disfavored. You have done something wonderful here, Fatebinder. The needs of a small, weak man placed before your own. You are truly a wonderful person, and a force of change for the tears. I will tell the other merchants and settlers the truth of the matter and clear Gino's name. Not my best work. Especially there. Woof, not my best work. At least I didn't have too much of Eldian speaking to do. Alright, as soon as we get past this loading screen, we will talk about... See what's left to wrap up. So we got the Oldwalls. We got to find the apprentice Garrick. I think these... Yeah, he's a forge-bound apprentice. And we got to... So both are inside the Oldwalls at Twin Rivers. And we got to go over here to do it. So do that. Turn on fast mode. Get them going. Alright. A quick question for people. What are your thoughts on group job interviews? Because I've had one of those recently. My main job that I'm doing right now focuses on helping people with disabilities find work. Gainful employment, so making sure that they can, know how the application process works, get them prepped for the interview, any interviews that they have, and if necessary, work with them on the job site after they have gotten a job to make sure that they're adjusting to the work environment and are, able to do everything that they need to do with or without accommodations and things like that. So, and the majority of the time you get, regular, one-on-one interviews, or maybe there's like 3 people that the company, whatever company that person has applied for, whatever their deal is, they could have, one person being an interviewee, 2 people being the interview, 3 people being the interview. I'm not talking about that. That's like a 2v1, 3v1 type thing, interviewee to interviewer. What I'm talking about is a group interviewed where you have multiple job candidates, multiple applicants, interviewed at the same time. Hello, Flatfoot Ferris. We'll get back to that. Brotherhood soldier eyes you with immense distrust, holding up a hand, indicating you should stop. How in the name of my fallen brothers did you get in here? You can say there are other ways past the doors, and I know them all. Yeah. I feel like being cheeky. Ferris nods in appreciation. That's quite impressive, but those tricks won't help you here. Let me guess. A fight? What you want to get going? Alright. So what happened here? After we got in here, Pokemon went on ahead. Said he had something he needed to do. Heard this terrible noise, and suddenly we were swarmed by scourges. Looks like they were running away from something. It was crazy. I've never seen them act that way before. Some of them attacked us. Most of them just kept going right out the door. Then Pokemon reappeared, and the rest of the scourges just went up and left. Pokemon was laughing. He almost like it was a game. He was saying, "This will show them. This is just a taste." And he sealed the doors and told me not to let anyone else through. Alright, I need your help to find the Forge-bound master. You're funny, Fatebinder. Pokemon told me you can't be trusted and that keep you from getting through at all costs. So unless you suddenly change your loyalties and you're planning on swearing fealty to him, you're not getting past me. Alright, who we got? 4? It looks like. Can we talk about something else? What are you guys doing inside? Looks to you like we're crazy. I don't see how it is in your business, really, but I suppose I don't see how it could hurt. Tell you since we're already here, he shrugs. Ever since he spent a night inside to prove he was worthy to be the first brother, he spent more and more time in here. Mapped out the path he can get through without attracting the Bane. We'd never had a problem as long as we stayed in the room. We can't hide out. We can hide out and no one knows we're here. You're the first one I've seen in here who wasn't part of the Brotherhood. He told me to stay here and give me something that he calls his torch key. I have no idea what it does, but he didn't tell me. He keeps his secrets to himself. Give me that. Mind if I do the talking? I think I know what he needs to hear. You think you can get it from him? Go ahead and try. Alright, Eb. Young man. Eb steps forward with a smile. She plants her staff in ground with a conspicuous thug. How long can you hold your breath? One hand on her staff, the other begins to trace a pattern in the air. How long can I... Listen, Snowflake, I don't have time for your stupid... Alright, his words come to a choking halt as he grips his throat, retching a trickle of water from his nose and mouth. Oh gosh. He falls to one knee, steadying himself for... gasps for air. God, that's terrifying. Because I'd wager you all my rings for your torch key that you can't handle more than 2 minutes of this. Certainly happy to find out for sure. Eb signs another gesture into the air, halting the drowning spell. No more. Take it. Ferris throws the torch key to the ground. He spits and hacks his lungs clear. Dirty fucking water itch. Nicely done. Say what you want or keep going? I'll be back. Can we just like leave? I mean, not like leave, but you know, like not kill them. All right, get your spell strength up more. All right, we're here. Alright, spells and abilities, large area of effect. Purifying waters. Nearby targets are afflicted with drowning. Mother's Embrace. Where's Mother's Embrace? Okay, that's that. Alright. There we go. Absolutely. More waterboarding. Good lord. Alright.
Will do.
Anywho. So. Group interviews.
Spotted something.
Is anyone who is looking for work and is the applicant on the applicant side of the interview process, is anyone a fan? Is anyone like, I would rather do a group interview than a single interview?
Found something.
Because I am definitely in the camp where that takes away a lot from some candidates, especially the more people you have and depending on the amount of time you have. Because in this specific case that I'm talking about, we had a group interview. The client had, and he had a group interview, and there were 5, including him, 5 applicants, and there were 3 interviewers. So 8 people total. It was a virtual interview on a Zoom call. And so, yeah. And they were using the free version of Zoom. So they had like a half an hour to do the interview process. The company did. And I feel like it definitely, with the specific client, it definitely wasn't to his advantage. It wasn't, I don't know if the only advantage I see is a certain type of personality. If that's a certain type of personality you want, then I guess a group interview is fine for those people, for the company to do so. But if you're not looking for a specific type of personality, this person who's like really like outgoing and go gettery, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, then people who are, introverted and shy and are very like conscientious, is like, I don't want to say too much because I feel like I'm, being overbearing or talking too much or not giving everyone else enough time, even though, it's a competition, technically. So, it seems completely weird that they would let you, it seems that you're doing a disservice to the candidates that you bring in. And, maybe you have like a lot of people who applied for a position, and so you got to narrow the field down somehow, and you don't have a lot of time, they don't give you a lot of time to, build up your team or whatever. And so, you don't have a lot of interview time, and you have your regular, thing that you got to do. They're not like a hiring manager or anything. That's like all they do every day. So I get it on the employer side of it, but the employee, like potential employee side of it, it's a little frustrating for those who don't have a outgoing, like dominant personality when it comes to being social. And so I feel like that's, and I don't know if that's something that I don't know. Like maybe there needs to be something to where like that's in like a specific accommodation you can ask for is, can this person, I know you guys are doing, group interviews and everything, but this person really you know, isn't going
Can't do
to
that.
perform well in a group interview setting, but he's, you know, he's qualified for the position. And if you guys would just take like, you know, a half hour of your time to speak with them one-on-one, then I think he would be able to shine and show you that they'd be able to work. And it'd be up to them whether or not they say, you know, they can deny it and give reasoning for it if it's not reasonable, because that's a big thing of whether or not an accommodation would be reasonable to them. So, you know, I didn't want to talk about work stuff, but that's stuff that's been on top of mind because it's been a thing that's frustrating. Because I don't know, I've had a couple instances where people have had group interviews and it didn't go well for them because of the type of interview it was. And it's not something that we can really prep them for. We can prep them as much as we can, you know, about what type of questions they're going to ask you. But they kind of like free-formed it a little bit. It was a little bit casual. And so it was all like, you know, they would give a scenario and they would, you know, ask, you know, what you would do in that scenario, but they're not specifically asking a specific person. They're not going, let's go in like alphabetical order, or let's start with, you know, who. They're just like, all right, whoever has the first response, go. And so that's an instance where definitely if you're not that specific type of personality who's like, okay, I got this, I can go right now. You know, you have the people who like want to sit in front of the classroom. And you have the people who are just like, I just want to chill and be in the back, but I'm still paying attention, I'm still learning, and I still do great I still make good grades, but I'm not that person who's always raising their hand in front of the classroom. Right? And so that's the thing where it's just
Terrible.
I'm going on about the same thing kind of over and over. But it's a little frustrating. And I don't know. It was a couple days ago. He hadn't heard back anything from him yet. But he did confirm to me that he sent a thank you email to them, which I was very happy because I didn't have to prod him to do it.
Pity you won't enjoy this as much as I do.
So I'm very happy with that. Because he's taken proper steps even though he feels he did not do well. So maybe that'll give him an opportunity at maybe a one-on-one interview after that. Who knows? I'll just have to wait and see.
Blink twice if you're still alive.
Oh, goodness. Oh, he's down.
I think that one hit bone.
Alright, you can... First, you can... Well, yeah, first. Getting people's names now. Alright, is he taken out? They're taken out, alright. Whew. Alright, so we took everything out of there already, yeah? Alright, good.
Yes.
Alright, thank you for telling me that, Zethios. Whew. Alright, let's take a quick camp. Just cause my, I guess, OCD about having loot left out in the world that I could grab. Alright, they're gonna be traps. Alright, that's probably gonna connect that. Let's have a look at the rest of this area. Look at the rest of this area.
Let's try not to stand out, shall we?
Yeah, let's try and keep it slow, because this is a big old room. Feels very trappy to me. What is that? You know, these somewhat remind me of, at least aesthetically, of Alien ruins in Oblivion. But these are a little bit more atmospheric and not as samey as those were. And of course, it's a lot different from because of perspective. So, all right. So I don't know which way is proper. I'm assuming this way is not proper. Let's head up. Let's head up this way. Unless it is. This feels very trappy to me. Okay, that's got to be proper. Let's head back down. Alright, I was completely wrong about which way was proper. Alright, I'm going to try and get through this first room before we...
Spotted something.
You son of a gun. That doesn't feel like it's lined up. Another trap? Nope. That's definitely a trap. Alright. Go ahead, Barrick.
Send them at me in waves.
There we go. Alright, did a lot of damage to that wisp over there. Go ahead and use that explosive arrow. You already used your burning arrow. You're already doing your electric jolt, maybe? I forget. They have their resistance to fire. They have no... They're just even on lightning. If we had frost stuff, they would be in big trouble.
That one rattled me hard.
Oh my gosh, Barrick. Please don't say that. Goodness, man. Alright, are you taking another brightening down? Yeah. Poison darts. Dumb. That's not gonna happen. Skull splitter?
I got it.
Is that gonna work? I don't think so. He stunned it with the lightning. What are you doing? Do you have your thing out? You do.
Don't know my own strength.
I forget that it looks like with that. This is just a straight up miss, a doink. Doink. Alright, nothing to grab here. Alright, this is a very interesting area.
Good thing I keep a torsion wrench handy.
Bane Touch Gauntlets. Interesting. Okay. And that's everything really, apart from down here. And this is the only part of the key. We don't have a key for down here.
Can't do that.
Can't look down there. Can't grab anything. Alright. So we might have to come back down here. What was in here that we couldn't get? Oh, there's a residue from a Bane. We did not grab. They're so tiny. Hard to see. Okay. We... Red work at all? No. Alright, we'll keep that the way it is. And we'll just move on. Because I don't see anything initially. Like we can't change anything. Looks like we might have a loop around from wherever we go next. And we might not be finished with this room. Like at all. This might be the only room. There's gotta be a trap in this long corridor. No way. Oh, it is. Alright. We'll see what's on the other side next time. So, till next time, this has been Zethios signing out for now. Bye, folks.